Hey, this is Sam Black with my second game with RWBurn against Junk Reanimator. I'm on the play here, and while I don't have an early creature, I don't think that's terribly important in this matchup since he's pretty good at blocking. And I do have a good mix of lands and spells, so I keep this hand and lead with a tapped Sacred Foundry. My opponent plays a tapped Temple of Plenty, and I don't really have anything to do here. My opponent is going to play a Sylvan Caryatid, which I can't really interact with, but don't especially care about. Here I could Skullcrack, but my opponent's demonstrated that he has life gain in his deck, and so I don't really want to waste a Skullcrack to just do 3 damage. So I'm just going to untap without playing a spell. I drew another Skullcrack here, which makes me kind of wish I'd played a Skullcrack, since now I feel like I'm a little tight on mana. But if I'd drawn a land there, I would really regret playing a Skullcrack, so I don't necessarily think the decision was bad at the time. My opponent plays a Centaur Healer, which obviously means I'm going to Skullcrack, and he gains no life. At this point I draw another burn spell, and here I just passed the turn. I think it's possible that I should have chained the rocks to the Centaur Healer just for mana efficiency and to preserve my life total. But there's some danger if you can answer Chain to the Rocks, gets 3 more life, and I felt like I could race the Centaur Healer, so I decided to just ignore it. My opponent plays another Centaur Healer, so I respond with another Skullcrack, and attacks, and I draw another Warleader's Helix. So at this point, I'd really like to spend my mana, because if I draw another land, I'm going to be using all of my mana every turn to cast these burn spells. And also, I'm under a little more pressure here, so I decided to chain to the rocks one of the Centaur Healers. We'll just skip ahead to that being done with. And my opponent plays Commune with the Gods, revealing these things, taking one of the 3 Satyr Wayfinders. He attacks the Centaur Healer, and then he's going to pass without playing the Satyr Wayfinder. At this point, I Lightning Strike my opponent, and he responds with Abrupt Decay on the Centaur Healer to gain 3 life. Or Abrupt Decay on the Chain of the Rocks to get back Centaur Healer and gain 3 life. Really punishing me for the Chain of the Rocks. I think it was still probably right to do it, but it definitely worked out poorly, and it's an argument against bringing Chain of the Rocks in at all in this kind of matchup. So I draw Temple of Triumph, which is not going to let me cast from these 4 damage spells this turn, but does at least let me do it next turn, and see Mutavault. I'm not really optimistic about Mutavault here. He's definitely going to be able to block it, and now that I have enough mana that I can play these, I don't really think it's doing anything for me. Also, my opponent is at 12, and I'm holding 11 burn in my hand, so I really want to find a card that's going to let me do the 1 more damage, which Mutavault won't do, so I'm just going to put that on the bottom. My opponent plays another Caryatid and attacks me for 6, putting me down to 8. Has no other play, so I Skullcrack down to 9, and draw and play a land and pass. And at the end of the turn, my opponent's going to Grizzly Salvage, revealing these things and taking a Sylvan Primordial into his hand, which he casts and blows up my... that went too fast. Sorry about that. Anyway, he cast that and blew up my Sacred Foundry, and I Helixed him in response, putting him to 5 and me to 6, and then untapped and drew Battlefield Forge, which would give me 5 mana to stoke him down to 1, but unfortunately I sided out Shock for Magma Spray, so I can't kill him. Really got punished for that sideboarding decision. which I now think was wrong. I think that it is far too likely that I'm not going to care about his creatures, and I just need all of my burn to be able to kill him. And Magma Spray is not good enough at dealing with his creatures that matter for it to be worth inclusion. So I definitely think I both sideboarded incorrectly and got fully punished for it in this match.